The eagle is too busy with sheeps and cows to go beast mode in the cage. What up, Fightful fam, and welcome to your Fightful Fix Thursday, November 19, 2020 edition. And we got more news than I can possibly handle, from Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 2 being signed to Anderson Silva parting ways with the UFC. But before we go any further, please hit subscribe, please tap the notification bell, and please leave a like on this video. Those kind acts go such a long way to helping the channel grow, and we really do appreciate it. Man, this day has been a go from start to finish, as is evident by my horrible neck beard. Really not doing those liberal hippie stereotypes much justice, but you know, what can you do? I am combating those lazy millennial stereotypes though, so you know, one battle at a time, I guess. Anywho, enough of my rambling. The news comes out today. Conor McGregor has signed his bout agreement to fight Dustin Poirier, and the fight is officially on. Oscar Willis of the Mac Life was first to report it. Ariel Helwani confirmed it with Conor McGregor, and Conor retweeted the article from the Mac Life. Dana White also mentioned that it was a go while speaking with Jim Rome, and ESPN MMA has also put out graphics for it. So, guys, we did it. We're going to have Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier fight at UFC 257 on January 23rd. We have spoken ad nauseum about this fight ever since Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier started discussing some sort of charity fight in Ireland. I think that was back in October that they started talking about it. They're sort of looking for a December date. Here we are, guys. It's finally going to happen. Conor versus Dustin. And I almost just want to leave it there. Like, let's just finally start simmering and stewing in the excitement for this fight, and come January, you have to imagine the UFC is going to be full throttle with their promotion for this event, and I don't even know who the favorite's going to be. I feel like Conor might come ahead in the odds makers books, just based on the fact that he has that win back in September 2014, a first round TKO of Dustin Poirier. The fact that he's coming off that win against Donald Cerrone in January, so it hasn't been too long since we've seen him fight. But inactivity is obviously something that Conor has dealt with. Dustin Poirier is in terrific form. You know, take nothing from that Khabib loss. Conor lost to Khabib too. I really don't know which way I lean. You know, you're going to have Conor diehard saying, look at how incredible he looked against Donald Cowboy Cerrone in January. You know, say what you will about Donald Cerrone in 2020, but Conor put on a masterclass performance, and I've got no problems with that argument. Those who want to say, look, Dustin Poirier has been killing it, beating the likes of Dan Hooker, Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje. He should be the favorite here. Again, not going to argue with you. I really don't know which way to take it. And if anything, I think that Justin Gaethje fight against Khabib has helped Conor McGregor's performance age. The fact that he went as many rounds against Khabib as he did and actually took a round from him, although I think it's a fair assessment that Khabib purposely took that round off to reserve his gas tank. At the same time, Dustin Poirier is arguably the one who gave Khabib the most trouble in this championship run. You can look at the guillotine choke attempts, that near knockdown. So I don't know, man. It's a pick'em as far as I'm concerned. But let's move forward. Anderson Silva has officially parted ways with the UFC. MMA Fighting were the ones to break the news. Strangely enough, and much to my chagrin, because it involved a lot of backtracking and work on my end, Dana White told TMZ Sports that it is untrue, that while Anderson Silva has retired, he is still under obligation with the UFC. If Anderson Silva wants to fight, he has to do it in the UFC. There's one fight left on that contract. And mere hours later, Dana White follows up with TMZ, says, I was mistaken. Anderson Silva has in fact parted ways with the UFC. I want to see him retire, but he is technically free to go do business wherever he wants. So what does that mean for Anderson Silva? The lead up to the fight against Uriah Hall was strange, because the UFC said Anderson Silva would be retiring. They sort of promoted the fight, billed it as a retirement match for the Spider. Anderson Silva and his trainers were kind of flippy-floppy on retirement after the fight. He seemed to allude to Michael Bisping that he would probably retire. And now it's really uncertain. Scott Coker, Bellator president, didn't seem to show a lot of interest in signing Anderson Silva. I think the right move is go over to one championship. I spoke to Vitor Belfort on this channel a few months back, and he seemed really keen on a rematch against Silva. Plus, one championship is a sort of promotion that I think could leverage his star power well. I think they'll pay him handsomely, and I think they could match him up with cans. They can match him up with veterans and legends like Vitor Belfort, maybe even Wanderlei Silva, who is not currently signed with them. And I kind of want to see him stay away from legitimate prospects, but I just think there's an interesting mix of talent that Anderson Silva could ply his trade against over at one championship. And next up, Jon Jones, or should I call him Jack Jones, because Jon Jones is yoked. He is swole. Whatever synonym you want to use in this situation, Jon Jones is looking absolutely enormous, hitting the scales at 240 pounds of pure muscle, on track to make his heavyweight debut. Jon Jones posted a few photos to Instagram this week showing off his physique and said that he'll be ready in a few months for a heavyweight fight. We know he's angling for a title fight against reigning, defending, undisputed champion Stipe Miocic, although UFC President Dana White has repeatedly said on record that Francis Ngannou will be getting the next shot. So it always seems to be a little bit of a crapshoot and confusion when it comes to Jon, but he's showing off a tremendous physique, and I'm curious to see what parts of his games transfer from light heavyweight to heavyweight in what ways. How does his power look? How much speed does he retain? What's his cardio like? I'm very curious. But, you can understand why a lot of people, fighters, critics, fans alike, favor Jon Jones against most of, if not the entire heavyweight division. And as we wrap up here, let's touch on Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'm not saying his name right, but I'm saying it a lot more accurately than Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's not it. Go check out the video. It's on YouTube. He pronounces it himself. Get off my back. Okay, I'm sorry. I just always have to deal with that criticism. So, Dana White, as recently as today on the Jim Rome show, says that he expects Khabib to fight one more time, try and go 30-0. Meanwhile, his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, talks to ESPN's Brett Okamoto and, isn't quite sure what the future holds for Khabib. Khabib reportedly spoke to a number of youth recently, according to a publication named TAC, which was then translated by RT Sport, that he is not particularly interested in fighting anymore. He said, quote, "You can fight until you're 40, but there should be a goal. I had a goal to reach the summit, and I got there. Further, I have no competitive interest. Next year, I will graduate. I'd like to build on my thesis, do a master's course, dedicate more time to studying. I've bought sheep. I tend to my farm. I'd like to develop in this field a little. I have the bull calves to feed. I have cows." So the eagle is too busy with sheeps and cows to go beast mode in the cage. It's MMA. Who knows what's going on at this point? I said after Khabib's retirement that this is possibly the only MMA retirement that feels real, and that's because Khabib has so much resolve and he really sticks to his principles and his word. Although after the fight, he did admit to, sort of being in the moment, having spoken to his mom. But here we are. He seems to be done with it. If these translations, this report are accurate, I don't really know at this point. Like, obviously, it'd be great to see Khabib come back, try and notch that 30-0, just because it would be such a nice round number. It's kind of abstract, but a cool round number, and further building on what is the most extraordinary run in MMA. On the other hand, though, if you're really thinking about the lightweight division, Khabib's removal opens up a lot of really exciting possibilities. You have Conor versus Dustin now. Justin Gaethje is in the mix, maybe with Dan Hooker. I think that'd be fun. You have the likes of Charles Oliveira just outside of the top 5. You have Michael Chandler. You have Tony Ferguson. There's a lot of ability now for movement, for really exciting matchups, and to crown champions that otherwise would go without a title in the Khabib era. So if he comes back, tremendous, if that's what he wants. If he doesn't come back, I have my closure, and I look forward to the future of 155, but that's just one man's opinion. And that is all for today's Fightful Fix. Let me know in the comments section, guys. Would you like to see Khabib retire or come back for another fight in the UFC? And Anderson Silva, should he retire, or is there a promotion that you see as a good fit for him? Let me know what you guys are thinking. We always love to hear from you. If you like this video, best way you can help the channel grow, hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, and leave a like on this video. Can't tell you how much those acts do for us over here at Fightful MMA. I'm Shaquille Majuri, and stay tuned for everything Fightful and so delightful. Peace.
Fightful.com